We're all familiar with these things. You know, they plug in the outlet and give you USB, and then you plug your phone, your tablet, your device, whatever you have to charge up, because everything now charges USB. But I have something that's a bit different than this. See, this has a switch mode power supply in it, and it's very small, very compact, and I don't even know what that says or if it's even legible on camera. But, you know, again, it's just a standard thing. But what I have here, yep, this is an old school magnetic transformer, wire wound inside, just like the old school, you know, wall-warts and that. This weighs a ton. You can see it's like a lead weight compared to this thing. And here's the information on it. It's a Han Quang plug-in class 2 transformer, and it outputs curiously 4.5 volts DC at 600 milliamps. Made in China, of course, but still very odd. What does this do? Well, this was actually part of a keyboard light. The keyboard light connected USB, and you were welcome to plug that into a USB port on your computer if you'd like. It had a cold cathode light in it, cold cathode fluorescent light. And this also came with it in case you either didn't have a USB port available or what have you. And it's a magnetic transformer. It's really something interesting. Now you'll notice that 4.5 volts is a little strange because USB is 5 volts. 600 milliamps. Now a standard USB port is supposed to output 500 milliamps. So theoretically this was enough for it, but like I said, you were encouraged to plug it into a USB port on your computer should you have one available. So here's my phone, and we'll get back to that in a second. Let's just see for fun what the wattage draw is on this. We'll plug it in first without the phone and then plug it into that. So if I could line that up, when we plug it in, it drew 0.1, then 0.2 watts, and then nothing further. When I plug in, I'll see if I can hold this with one hand while I plug that in. Drew up to 8 watts, and now it's hovering between 5 and 6. And the phone is charging. You heard the little tone from it. And interestingly, it's actually gone down a bit. Alright, and up and down. Maybe when the phone is doing things. Let me power the phone off. Phone is powering down now. Should be off. Now it recognized that it's plugged in. Interesting. It really does jump around a little bit. That's really strange. Now there is a display there, which I believe will go away in a short time. We'll see if the wattage draw actually goes down. Yeah, 0.1. Okay, nothing. Actually, I was mistaken. The backlight dimmed. Now it's down to using only 4 watts. If I wake it up with the button there, it jumps back up. Okay, now we'll try this guy. Okay, I have the phone powered back up. And let me see if I can plug this in. And that is using 1.1 watts solid with nothing connected. So now, I don't know if I could do this with one hand or if it's the right way. Okay. It's plugged in, but not enough to do anything or tell the phone anything. Maybe the voltage is too low or it's too noisy. So that doesn't even work. But I do have one other thing. While this may look like it's a flash drive, it's not. It's USB Lite. Some China company sent me this some time ago. It's even got a cap on it to make it look like, you know, a thingamajobber and that. And we'll get the other adapter here plugged back in and plug that in so you can see. Well, of course, the way this wants to plug in is upside down. So you see it just has 3 white LEDs. I haven't really found a practical use for this thing yet. Maybe if you had a USB power bank, you could plug it in that and have a makeshift flashlight. You'd think that plugging it in the back of a PC so you can kind of find your way to plug other cables in. No, it just ends up pointing the wrong way or pointing to another USB cable and blocking all the light. Anyway, uses 0.7 watts. And if I unplug it, it just takes a moment for this supply to crap out. See, whatever residual voltage just takes a moment. Now let me get it plugged back in there because you'll find something very interesting. Okay, it's plugged in now and on, just as bright, just as good as before, using 2.5 watts as opposed to its 1.1. So yes, switch mode power supplies use less energy to a degree, but by the same token, they're not the greatest for certain situations where these are better. But check this out. Let the camera just get acclimated to that, and if I unplug it, which is easier said than done, there we are. Look at the residual power. It's still glowing. I'm going to kill the lights and do it again. Okay, unplug. Oh yeah. They're definitely still lit. You can see. I don't know if it can focus any closer. Probably not with this kind of low light. But they are still illuminated. The camera actually makes them appear a little bit brighter than they are in real life. They're extraordinarily dim, which obviously you can tell even through the camera. But look at how much residual power stays in this thing to just barely light this. I don't know how many seconds this is going now, probably on 30 if not more. Well, that's about 2 full minutes since being unplugged, and there's just the tiniest. I can't even see that in real life, but the camera just picks up those little dots, and if I try to unplug it, they go out and plug back in. There it is. Yeah, I don't know if that came through with the YouTube compression, but anyway, interesting. So while not useful for charging your cell phone because it just doesn't, it can still be used to power other USB devices like a USB fan or any other thing that basically is just looking to steal power from USB just for really to eat its 5 volts is it. So just an interesting but yet oddball. I guess you can't really call it a charger, but with a magnetic transformer connected to USB. I do still have the cold-cathode fluorescent light. I'm not going to show that at this time. Maybe one day in the future. I haven't decided yet. But I fortunately have enough USB ports that after some reconfiguring with that Passus tower power tower strip thing that I reviewed some time back, there were a couple of extra USB ports, and I no longer needed to have this plugged in to power said light. Thank you for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.